Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Bloons Spell on the channel. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day as usual. So we're going to hop right back into the game with Faze Bolt. And we're going to see how long we can go with these villages. And I'm not really sure what the upgrade is called, where they like have the lightning bolts. I don't know if they're lightning bolts or not, but the lightning bolts on the villages. I'm not sure what that upgrade is called. But from what I've seen so far, it's a pretty good upgrade. And then with the other village next to it, you can use the ability, and then there's like more lightning bolts. It's a pretty good ability, and it's a really powerful tower. So I think I'm definitely gonna be using village more in the future. Because I did not realize how good they were. So I was trying to fit like my basic plan was to fill up the entire screen with villages, but I would have to sell like some because I would have to fit in the other village, and I was trying to fit in like 4 or 5. I'm not really sure how many I fit in, but I was trying to fit in a village like for every couple villages, so that when I use the abilities, then all those villages I was trying to get as many of the villages as possible to have the ability. So, what I mean by like have the ability is like when I use the ability, then they have it, or then they're more powerful because they like shoot quicker and stuff. So, I'm not really sure if the call to arms ability makes the lightning bolts like more powerful. I'm not sure if they're called lightning bolts either, but I'm not sure if it makes them more powerful or if it just makes them shoot fast. Excuse me. Or if it just makes them shoot faster. I think it's shoot faster, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, so far, these villages were doing so well that I thought we would go to like, because me and Faze Bolt were kind of like estimating what rounds we could make it to. And after they did so well against that Oh My God, I was feeling pretty confident about how far they could make because I wanted Faze Bolt to send me his Oh My God just to kind of test how powerful this defense was, which I didn't think we could defend it at all, but we did. So after that, I was feeling very confident as to how far we could make it, and Faze Bolt was as well because I asked him what like round he would think now, and he said round 60 or in 60s. So I mean, at the time I thought that was a low estimate, but as we went through the game, it didn't really. It sounded like a pretty good estimate. But as we went on, I thought we were gonna get taken out around 50 or so. I don't know if I made that as like an estimate when we were playing, but like as time went on, and it was getting like mid 40s, late 40s, it started getting to be like a bit of a struggle. So I was like kind of thinking, well, I don't know if we're gonna make it to round 50, but we're gonna give it our best shot. So, but my basic plan was the areas that I couldn't fill up with villages, I would put ninjas. I put a few Bloon Jitsus down, or I think, yeah, I did put some Bloon Jitsus down. So yeah, so all the spaces that were too small for the villages, I put down some Bloon Jitsus to help out with the damage. But and I made sure to have the call to arms next to them as well, just to kind of give them that extra boost. Faze Bolt with those extra spaces decided to go with Moab Assassin, which I'm not sure. I was a little confused if I didn't know for sure if Bloon Jitsu or Moab Assassin was stronger against Blimps, but I was like, well, of course it has to be stronger. Of course Moab Assassin has to be stronger against Blimps because that's what it's made for. I don't know for sure, but that's kind of what I assumed because of the name. And I just realized my volume was way too high. So I was gonna turn it down, but I don't know if I should just turn it down like more like halfway through, but I hope it doesn't change too much. It probably did change quite a bit, but I felt like if I didn't change it, then I feel like if I noticed that the volume was too high, I should like change it throughout, because what I was gonna do at the end was just like make all of the volume lower, but I was then looking over, like re-listening to the commentary, and I realized that you could hear like a fuzz, like a like a what am I trying to say? You could hear a sound in the background, so I was like, okay, well, turning it down now would probably be best. Just kind of get rid of that background sound and make the audio as good as it can be, because I felt like I didn't know for a fact, but I felt like if I turn it down at the end, then you could still hear that noise in the background, but it'd be kind of lower. Um, I mean, I'll probably see after this. I'll probably turn down the beginning, and then I can like see if it's see if the beginning is like still having that weird buzzing sound. Which I hope it doesn't, but if it does, it's not the end of the world. I'll just live and learn. I'll just learn for next episode not to have my volume too high. Um, my the volume on my headphones, there's like a what's it called? There's like a volume thing on my headphones where I can turn up and down, and if I turn it up, it makes everything a lot louder, including the things that you guys can hear, which is kind of crazy that I didn't realize. Um, like turning this up also makes people hear me better through the mic. I kind of found that out on Discord and on this, so it's kind of cool. I did not know that happened. So like if I turn it all the way up, you guys could hear noises from like downstairs. So it doesn't just affect the way I hear things, it affects the way you guys hear things and like people on Discord and stuff. So I didn't know that. But as you can see, we threw down a few balloon jutsus in the spaces where we could. Faze does as well. But the thing I'm not sure of is like, and also what I just realized is Faze was able to fit more villages than I was. Like, my balloon jutsus to the left, Faze was able to fit villages there. I didn't know you could do that. Cool. Okay. Well played. I didn't know you could do that. So cool. I know for next time. We actually played so what we decided to do after this was we were just kind of messing around with random towers on the same map after this game, and we ended up playing like 6 games in a row, and some of them were short, some of them were long, and what we did was we were able to rush whenever. So we would kind of like test out different towers. I can't include all those other games though, because since we were replaying this game mode, part of the rules is that I can only play, or that with each person, I can only upload the first game we play. So if it's not a best of 3 or anything, if it's just like if it's game modes, what I mean by game modes is like Bonanza, Fire, stuff like that. So if we play that type of thing, then we can only play it once. And usually, or no, I don't want to say usually. My rule is that I upload the first game we play. I've always done that. When it's not best of 3s, when it's game modes, I upload the first game we play. That's what I've always done. So that's kind of how I'm going to keep it going. And I also just realized, even though I mentioned how long this was in the last episode, I just realized it was 25:25. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so I also realized while looking over at the end of my last episode, because I couldn't remember like what time I ended the first half of the game that I recorded, or of this game, and then the second half. And something I didn't do is at the end of the last episode, I did not put a blue box over the time at the end of the video. When I paused the gameplay and I was doing the outro and stuff. Well, I talked. Oh my gosh, my voice. I talked. So I paused the gameplay and then I was talking about some stuff, and then I ended off the episode, or I did the outro and ended off the episode. So I'm actually kind of glad I didn't do that, because I wouldn't have known what time to resume the game. So I'm glad I did that, and I'm also kind of upset that I did that. I was upset at first because um, it was I thought it was kind of weird that like throughout the entire video there's a blue box covering the time, and then at the end there wasn't. Um, but also at the same time it helped me because then I wouldn't have if the blue box was over the time, I wouldn't have known what time to resume the game. So I'm kind of glad I did that as well. I was also making sure I sabotaged as much as possible. That was probably the most key thing in this. After I filled up the map with as much villages and balloon jitsus as I could, I would keep at least one spot. I had 2 spots, but I would keep at least one spot for putting down sabotage supply lines to slow everything down. And I think we had a little bit of lag here. It was slowing down a bit. There was a lot of lightning bolts from the villages on the screen. I don't know if they're called lightning bolts, but that's kind of just what I've been going by. But yeah, again, I'm very surprised that these villages were able to. I thought they weren't good against Moabs. I mean, I've always known they were good against Bloons, but I didn't think they were good against Blimps. And I didn't even think they would be able to take out, like, I thought they'd struggle against Moabs and BFBs and stuff, but they're able to pop camos. What am I saying? So my gods, a lot easier than I thought they would be able to. So that's kind of interesting. I was gonna say crazy. I don't know why I said interesting. It's interesting as well, but I feel like crazy would have fit that. I don't know. I'll just put them both there. But as we were getting to around 50, so as I said before or earlier in the episode, once we got to like mid 40s, late 40s, that like those rounds, these BFBs were making it like pretty far. So I was kind of so like in my head, making it to round 60 was kind of fading away. That thought was kind of fading away from me. But at the same time, I don't think. Now I don't want to say this. This is not something I know for sure. But I don't know if like how big, because I hope this makes sense. But I don't know if there's like a big balloon, like the power of the balloon gap between round 49 and like I know it's a very weird like. So basically what I'm trying to say is like I'm just gonna use this as an example. So for example, like from round 50 to 60, what I mean by balloon gap is like it goes from, for example, if it went from Moabs to Oh My Gods in like one round, then there's like a huge, or then there's like no balloon. I'm confusing myself. There's like no balloon gap because the balloons get instantly stronger. But if there was a balloon gap, actually it's the other way around. If there was a balloon gap, then the balloons get way stronger like a round or two later. And then if there wasn't a balloon gap, then like from round 50 to 60, there'd be kind of like the same balloons in the rounds. Not exactly the same, but they wouldn't be upgrading enough to do much damage. I hope that makes sense. I kind of just confused myself. I can't figure out if it was balloon gap or not balloon gap. I can't remember. But I was using these abilities as much as possible. I thought at one point I'd have to start selling the call to arms and rebuying them as I go and just keep using the abilities. But the abilities lasted for quite a while. So usually they lasted for long enough to kind of pop everything. But these two Oh My Gods were getting a lot more difficult to pop. They were making it pretty far, and I don't think I was sabotaging as often as I could. But also, I just balloon sniped that one. I was like, wait, is this ability? Does this ability just make my towers that much better? So it just popped instantly? But no, it just literally gets rid of the entire balloon. I've never used that ability before. I did not know that was an ability you could use. So it's kind of crazy that you can just make one's Oh My God disappear. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that been used before. But I guess I'll use that more often. But on Faze Bolt's side, those BFBs I thought would take him out. They were making it pretty far, but like those BFBs got pretty decently close to the end. But once those BFBs got popped, those Moabs just went one after another. Those Moabs popped very quickly after those BFBs got popped. The BFBs got popped pretty quickly as well. But like once it got down to the BFBs, it would just boom, 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 boom. Like destroy the BFB, destroy the mobs. So if the Zomites and gods made it that far, but they were pretty damaged by the time they made it like near the end, it wouldn't matter too much, because once they get popped down to BFBs, it's just boom, one after another, just popping instantly. So Fable was starting to cry a little bit because those oh my gods and BFBs were making it pretty close to the end. I was trying to give them thumbs up to cheer them up and stuff, and unfortunately, the connection did break. I'm not sure how much farther we could have made it. We may have been able to make it around 60, but I guess we'll never know. So I think what I might start doing is recording the games as they happen. But at the same time, doing that we won't get to see like how much money each person has through replays and stuff. So I don't know what to really do about that. But I don't know. I didn't even know that happened at the end either. But I guess I got the win. I think it was because he disconnected. But like usually when these connection breaks happen, it's not because like the opponent disconnected. I think it just happens, or it happens like when we have lag spikes or something. I'm still not sure like what the cause of it is, but I don't know. I'm not really sure how we're going to, like, if we're going to keep doing replays or recording it live. I'm not really sure what we're going to do about that yet. If you guys would like to play me, just let me know in the comment section below. I'll be sure to get to each and every comment as soon as I possibly can. But hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you beautiful people in the next episode.